Cadel, this difference in the general is Dutch radio, Jeroen Wielaert. 1:34 in the classement, that's not this historical small difference, that's a convincing difference.
Monsieur Coudon, he wants always an exciting final. I wouldn't say you know, when we started today, three riders in at 1 minute for the podium places, was all pretty close, but you know, I had a good day today, not good enough to win the stage, but yeah, classification, this is exactly where we wanted to be going into Paris.
Is there any moment today where you thought, you know, this is going to be my day?
When we raced the Dauphiné on this course, it was, I saw that, if you come here with good legs in the Tour in the third week, you can really do some damage here. It's a really tough course for a final time trial. When the time trial in the third week of a Tour, it's different than any other. You get here so exhausted that just a little bit of energy reserves can go a long way, and then this course being so even more difficult than normal, that's probably that situation is probably amplified somewhat. Yesterday I had to expend a bit of energy. The day before I had to expend some extra energy and so on. But I was feeling okay this morning in our little training ride, and then on the race. But it's a time trial. Just go.
Cadel, congratulations. It took you nearly 10 years to win a Grand Tour. Could you take us through that incredible journey?
Nearly 10 years to win a Tour, but people, I don't know. I seem to cop the criticism for losing the Tour, so maybe I see it from a different angle. But I debuted in 2002 in the Giro d'Italia, and I held the leader's jersey until 9 kilometres of the last climb, where I hadn't had the time to make the full adaptation to a road rider from a mountain biker, and the different in intensity and distance, endurance, and so on. I had then my Grand Tour career was put on hold for 2 years. I started again in 2005, 8th place at my first Tour de France, in a team which was also really focused on working for my compatriot Robbie McEwen. That year I think he won 3 stages. I'm sorry, I can't remember. He won so many stages, I can't remember which years he won them all. But and then 2006 4th, 2007 second for 23 seconds, which was always, it was so close, but against Contador, he had a really good day on the last day. He had a good moment over the Paris-Sud, where he had 2 teammates, Popovic and Hincapie, in the breakaway, where they could take he made I think a 40 or 50 second gap on me there, and then that to me was one place where I look back in that Tour de France, and that's where it cost me. 2008. Everyone was so convinced that I was going to win it. I thought, well, hang on, be careful, because there's a lot that can go wrong, and I had a crash on stage 8 or 9. We actually passed the descent that I crashed on in this Tour, and Verdugo, the rider from Muscatel, was in front of me just before we got there, and he makes me very nervous. I don't like to follow him in the peloton. He still scares me today. He had crashed on this downhill that we passed 10 kilometres into one of the stages here this year, and that took me down, and that was by far away my hardest Tour de France that I ever rode. I suffered so much in that tour through injuries, bruising, loss of skin, and so on, and I didn't have in the final time trial there. Everyone was so convinced I was going to win it that the suffering that I'd gone through and the extra energy that this had cost me showed in the final time trial. 2009, throw that year away. 2010, still good, well positioned, 142, took the yellow jersey with a 142 advantage over Contador in the first mountain stage. I had a little crash that day, broke my arm. that was that year over, and then here we are today, 1 day from Paris.
Cadel, congratulations, mate. As you know, Australia's gone berserk. Everyone in Australia has been up tonight. The Prime Minister has called a public holiday for Monday, nationally, true.
Public holiday. It's okay for the economy, that's fine by me. Thanks, Julia. I won't enter on any other political discussions there because it's been a nice day so far. Well, that's very nice to hear. You know, I'm over here pretty concentrated on the job at hand, and you know, like I said, I just hope that everyone in Australia has enjoyed watching so far, and you know, by the time we get to Champs-Élysées, you know, we probably would have begun to understand what's going on in the world around outside of the little world of the Tour de France by the time we get to the Champs-Élysées tomorrow. Most of all, I think the key aspect to our tour is consistency, being there all the time, but this is getting through that the first 10 days and getting me to the mountains. You know, when it's me there on the mountains, it's me. When I'm alone, it's my two legs. But the guys who got me there, Bourgard, Hincapie, and particularly on the flat, were just incredible. And then guys in reserve, Mickey Shah, and then we got to the mountains. It was Santino, Morabito, Amel Monard. It was really, the team really delivered me to this point, to get myself into this position today, and you know, not just the riders on the road, but everyone behind the scenes as well. And I think that started with a little idea of my manager and a few key people behind BMC back in when everyone doubted me and no one wanted to know me in August 2008.
Hi, Cadel. Andy Schleck told me yesterday that he hadn't ridden the time trial parcours until this morning. So, in your opinion, do you think that was a little bit of a mistake, or is it just simply a case of the final time trial that, you know, he just didn't have the energy?
You know, I don't know if it's, I'm not going to criticise his preparation or anything. I don't know. No, I don't know. You'd have to ask Andy that.
Cadel, congratulations. Do you put this down to being different in terms of your team setup as opposed to the difficulties that you mentioned before? You seem a lot more settled this year. Would you agree?
Oh, well, we're always a product of the environment around us, that's one thing, but like most people, when things are going wrong or about to go wrong, I get nervous. I think that's pretty human. And this year we really planned very, very carefully, but planning from not just from when I was planning to join this group, the group of people, John Lelang, Jim Opwick, Sandy Rees, etc., but also in all the training camps, the preparation, the equipment, and a lot of people worked really hard behind the scenes, and you know, really that as a company, as a bike manufacturing company, and so on, for the engineers and so on, just to deliver the time trial bike, etc. It's I think it was 2 years of work for them, just to get for example, and you know, it's a lot of planning and preparation, and a bit of experience on my part. I think it's my 6th or 7th Tour de France, or I can't remember how many Grand Tour, but and avoiding and not having any bad luck has thus far been good to me.
Hi, Cadel. Congratulations. The previous tours, when you were second twice, there was there was doping that was that was affecting the peloton. I just wanted to know, how much do you think that the efforts to clean up the sport have helped lead to your victory now?
Oh, I don't think I'm in a good position to comment on that. Sorry.
Hey, Cadel. When you woke up this morning, did you have a feeling like this is it? This is my day?
I had to wake up very early this morning. I thought, oh, damn that damn 80s disco in the hotel. I want some more hours of sleep. I've been riding consistently well all through the tour, and you know, there was a lot of promising signs in the stages leading up to today, but I didn't have the difference when it's two against one with the Schlecks on Alpe d'Huez, for example. I would have much preferred to be able to come here take some time yesterday, but I couldn't make the difference, or whether that was related to the energy expenditure I'd made earlier in the stage, or the day before, where I had to, you know, there was no one left to close the gap. I had to close the gap myself. it's been a good, consistent tour. We've worked hard, and thus far puts us in a good position.
You've worn the yellow jersey before, and you've been on the podium to receive the yellow jersey. And the first time you got it, it was obviously an emotional moment, as it would be for everybody. I was just wondering what that emotion is like to receive the yellow jersey, and particularly with a very strong crowd there of Australians. Can you describe what the difference is to the first time?
When the first time I received the yellow jersey on Haute-Cam, it was an emotional experience in itself, because I think 24 hours earlier I was lying in the curb with skin off all over me, and wondering if I was even going to be able to get back on my bike. So obviously things to turn around like that and take the yellow jersey was of course a nice surprise. But it was a long way from Haute-Cam to Paris, and it wasn't quite as successful as I certainly hoped. Fortunately, this year we're a little bit closer to Paris.
You've mentioned that day, end of September in 2009. Was it for you the most important day of your career? Was there a Cadel before and a Cadel after your Worlds?
No, for me personally, not a great deal has changed since that race in Mendrisio. I know you're Belgian, so you probably don't want to hear this, but I have a great group of people around me, and this is, for me, it's an optimal environment to work in, and I think my and our results are evidence or proof of this.
Cadel, in my opinion, you seem to have saved yourself from losing the Tour the last 2 days in the Alps, where you were under siege by first Andy Schleck, and then to Alpe d'Huez, Contador, and also Andy Schleck again. Do you feel, how did you stay so calm and fight so hard single-handedly to save yourself from losing the Tour?
No, I've been in these situations a few times before, whether it was Dauphiné 2009 with Valverde and Contador, Tour de France Alpe d'Huez 2008 with Sastre and the Schleck brothers, numerous other occasions, and you learn a few things along the way, and also John Lelang is also he's a guy that doesn't get unnecessarily nervous, which is great for me.
You've taken a lot of responsibility, especially on the Galibier stage. Is that a change in you that you took control over the last 12 kilometers of chasing?
Change? What? I had the legs to do it. Maybe I didn't have the legs before in years gone by or whatever, but I didn't have any choice, and so I did what I had to do, and so fortunately it puts me in this position here today.
What does it mean for the sports country Australia, your win here?
I don't know, you'd have to ask the Australians that. I've been a bit busy racing my bike. I haven't had time to get in contact with people in Australia, but if the Prime Minister makes a public holiday for a sports event, well, there's one other that they do that for. I'm honoured.
Australia had a day after the America's Cup. This, I think, equals it or betters it. To be in that category must be special.
I have to. I was pretty young back then. I don't think we even had a TV, actually. I didn't watch the America's Cup because we didn't have a TV. Between now and Champs-Élysées tomorrow, we'll have a chance to digest. Sorry, I'm lost for the English word, but comprehend everything, and we'll see. For now, I'm pretty keen to get and go to the bus and have a little chin-chin with the boys.
Cadel, vous avez le maillot jaune du Tour de France, vous allez sans doute le gagner. On vous a posé une question sur le dopage tout à l'heure. Vous êtes un exemple, peut-être le meilleur coureur du monde en ce moment. Pourquoi refuser de répondre à la question? Avez-vous conscience que peut-être ce silence peut créer une sorte de malaise? On vous attend aussi comme un modèle, on a peut-être envie de vous entendre. Pourquoi ne pas avoir un discours clair, net et tranché face à ce problème?
Je pense que la meilleure chose que je peux faire comme un athlète est faire un bon exemple. Le jaune et l'autre. Alors, je cherchais juste à faire un bon exemple. Et puis ils ont les opinions des autres qui voient moi ou qui voient les autres sports, les autres choses dans la société, dans le monde et faire son opinion.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cadel.